Okay, I just want to give you a little run through on grouping in pairs. Okay, so just going to run through grouping in pairs. So basically, grouping in pairs, you use this when you have 4 terms. Okay, so let's just look at, say that, I'm just going to run through grouping in pairs. Now, grouping in pairs involves when you've got 4 terms. And it also is as a result of when there is nothing that is like terms, so nothing adds together or collects. So you've got AX plus AY plus BX plus BY. And if you look at that, see there's no like terms, so there's nothing like, and therefore you end up with 4 terms. Now when you add 4 terms, the method that you use to go backwards is basically you group it into pairs. So let's just say you're asked to factorise, and I'd like you just to put a heading in your book, put grouping in pairs, if you're doing this via video, put grouping in pairs, okay, and then write factorise, and then write this example down, AX plus AY plus BX plus BY. Okay, so step 1 that you have to do is you have to put it into 2 pairs. That's why it's called grouping in pairs. Now, so you have to put it into 2 pairs. Now, within each pair, because like this one's quite easy because you can see there's a common factor within the pairs. If it wasn't, you might have to rearrange it. So once you've done that, you factorise each pair separately. And you look for the common factor. So if you look at this, there's an A, so you take the A out, and then you're left with X plus Y. And then there's a B, so you take the B out, and you're left with X plus Y again, because A times X is AX, and A times Y is AY. Similarly, B times X is BX, and B times Y is BY. So now you've got it set up to factorise, because if you look at the overall thing, you've got X plus Y and X plus Y. So you need to take the X plus Y out the front, and you go X plus Y. And if you look at that, you're actually left with A plus B. So you're left with X plus Y, A, and then it's factorised. Okay, so just write these examples down. Just pause the video, write the examples down, and we're going to have a look at some more. Alright, so just looking at this, we do the same thing. We put them into 2 groups. So write this example down. There's a common factor of A. So you take the A out and you get A plus X. You look at the next one, there's a common factor of B. So you take the B out and you get A plus X. And then when you look at the whole thing, the factor that is common to both of those is A plus X. So you take that out the front and you look at what's left. And what's left is actually A plus B. So you've got A plus X, A plus B. Alright. And now the second one I've got written here, write it down. Stop the video. Okay, now put it into 2 groups. Okay, and what's common in this one? Yep, okay, good. X. So you take the X out. So there's an X in that because that's X squared, and an X in that because that's 4X. So X times what gives you the X squared? X times X. X times what gives you the minus 4X? X times minus 4. Here you take the A out. What's left? A times what gives you the AX? A times X. A times what gives you the 4A? A times minus 4. And then when you look at this whole thing, what's common here and here? It would be X minus 4. And then you look at what's left here, which is, if you take that out, you have X plus A. So the factors of this here would be X minus 4, X plus A. And if you did expand it, if you wanted to check, you could also check by expanding it. So like you go X squared plus AX minus 4X minus 4A. Okay, and do we get the same thing? Wait a minute. Yes, we do. It's just in a different order. X squared minus 4X plus AX minus 4A. Okay, so continuing with that, let's put them into 2 groups. So you go X, X minus 4, minus 4 Oh, no, 4's not common. What am I thinking? What goes into 4a and a? Now, when you take out the a out of there, that's common. You've got minus 4. Well, I'm taking the minus out, so it's plus 4 minus x. It's back to front, isn't it? So the best way out of that is back to front, is just to start again, and just make sure that when you do that, you've got to make sure that you've actually got it the right way around. So if you swap it around the other way, I think that will make life a little bit easier. So you get x minus 4 plus a, x minus 4, and you end up with x plus a, x minus 4. Okay, so looking at the next one, we do a similar sort of thing here. We've got y plus 2, minus m. I took a minus out, because if there's a minus, you have to take the minus out. And I probably should have, that one turned out to be plus, so that was right. Now, when you take the minus out, because the m's common, you end up with y, but you've taken the minus out of here too. That has to be a plus, because minus m times plus 2 will give you minus 2m. So basically, this part here, you have to change the sign. If you don't change the sign, then when you re-expand it out, you're not going to have the same thing. Okay, so let's look at what's common here and here, which is y plus 2. And let's look at what's left, which is y minus m. Okay? Alright. So, now we're just going to look at another one. Okay, so let's look at another one. So you take the x out and you get x minus 5, minus, take out the 2, and what else is common? Y, and you end up with 5. And because you took the minus out, you've got to change that sign, so that'll be minus x. Oh, it's the same thing, but a different sign. Okay, so how do we deal with this? Let's just rearrange that so that we just have 2xy minus 10y. So that's x minus 5 plus 2y, x minus 5. And now it's just set up to factorise, because you have a common factor of x minus 5, and then you have x plus 2y. Okay. Now, I'm just going to run through an extension one. Just copy it down. It's good for you all to have a look at this. This is sort of what you do it in Year 11. So if you look at this here, you've got a squared minus b squared. Now we know a squared minus b squared goes to a minus b, a plus b. 2a plus 2b is 2a plus b. And then if you look at that, there's a common factor of a plus b. So you take the a plus b out, and what is left here? A minus b will be left. You can see there it is. And then plus 2. So a minus b plus the 2. And that means that it is now fully factorised. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now, if you go and do some questions on the slide on this, and that should be good.